What'd it be like? What'd it be like? I'm Jam Daddy. And I'm a sit-down comedian. I do all my own work, all my own recording. I'm here tonight to let you know about one of the problems I got here, and it's with sound. I used to be a stand-up artist, you know, but I got sick of watching everybody else sit down and decided that I'd follow suit. So, if you wonder why I got 3 microphones here, it's because over the years you accumulate a lot of equipment and you don't want to just have it sit at home gathering dust in your basement or your clothes closet like a lot of people do. So what I'm going to try to do tonight is solve a problem and entertain you, the audience, both at the same time. Now, the problem is this. I got all this sound equipment here, and I gotta be honest with you. Ha! I don't know how to use it. Or something like that. However, that's not your problem. It's what you're thinking, right? Well, you're right. It's mine. Before the evening's over, what I'm gonna wind up doing is probably not solving the problem and not even entertaining you. But what do you care, right? That's what you came here for. You came here to be entertained, but you're probably just going to wind up spending your money, like most people do. Everybody comes out to be entertained, but all they ever wind up doing is spending their money. Am I right? That's right. I know I'm right. If I wasn't right, I wouldn't be here. That's how I make my money. I make my money entertaining people like you. Only most of the time I don't entertain you. And that's the same way you feel about it when you go home and you walk out of here. On your way home, driving in the car, you look at each other and say, what the hell did we spend our money watching that nitwit for? The drinks were watered down, the food tasted like garbage, and that jerk wasn't even funny. Plus, his sound wasn't even good. Half the time we couldn't even hear him. We should have been staying at home, watching the garbage that we get on TV for free. Am I right? Am I right? Huh? Let me tell you. I'm right, ain't I? Well, what's the answer? You ain't got any choice, do you? You don't want to stay at home because you're sick of it. You get bored. You look at each other every day and every night, and it's like, hey, let's get the hell out of here. Spend some of this money we've been stacking up and go out and have a good time. Anything's got to be better than sitting at home watching TV. Am I right? Well, here you are again tonight, spending that hard-earned money, watching me sit down on the job, getting paid, and you people ain't enjoying your food, your drinks taste shitty, and I haven't told a decent joke yet. So, what's the answer, right? Well, I don't have the answer. If I had the answer, I wouldn't be here. I still got the problem with my sound. It might sound good from where you're sitting, but when I go home at night, I take it and sit down and check it out myself. And all I ever get is the same problem. I wish I had enough money so I could hire me a soundboard man. That's the answer. But you want to know something? You people think I all make more money than you do, don't you? Yeah, well, it might look like it, just because I wear these sharp clothes, these fancy hats, and these expensive shoes. Where do you think I get all this stuff from? You guessed it, the Goodwill. I just know what days they put it out the first time. Hey, getting back to that sound problem. Anybody out there know anything about sound? Because if you do, I wish you'd come up here and help me solve my problem. I got 3 mics, a TV monitor, all the film equipment that a man could want, lights, but I don't know how to operate the sound. Hey, getting off of my problems. Let's get back on yours. You know what? Instead of coming out here and watching sit-down comedians, has anybody ever thought of turning to nature? You know, there's a lot of free stuff going on out in the country. You might not believe it by all the billboards, the television advertising, and all the things you hear on the radio. And you might not believe it by all the things you read in the newspaper about how dangerous it is out there. Am I right? Well, let me tell you something. The last gig I had to drive because I couldn't afford to fly. My car just happened to be in tip-top shape at the minute, so I drove. You know how far I drove? Across country. That's right. I drove from New York to California. How long did it take, you say, eh? Well, how long do you think it took? Took me a week. That's because I took my time. You want to know why? Because I wanted to stop and see what I'd been missing by flying all the time. Well, the first night out on the road, that's right, night. I don't like driving during the day. There's too much traffic. Besides that, at night you can drive behind one of those 70-mile-an-hour 40-foot trailers. You know, those guys with the CBs? They always know where the Smokey is. That's right, folks. I keep one in my car, too. It's called a CB. Well, first night out, I was about 6 hours out of New York, and what should happen to me but BAM! I got a flat. 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting out in the middle of nowhere with a flat tire. So what do you think I did? I got out and I changed it. That's what I did. What the hell you think I did? Well, problem is, I had a hard time breaking the lug nuts. I didn't get that flat changed till daybreak. That's right, folks, daybreak. And you ought to see the things that I saw out there in the middle of the night. Sounds you wouldn't believe. Sounded like people were getting butchered. Screaming. Sounds that were so weird, you'd think we were being invaded by space aliens. And I don't mean the friendly kind. I've seen eyeballs staring at me from all over the place. I thought this was the end for me, folks. Let me tell you. What I did was I crawled in the back seat of my car, rolled up the windows, locked the doors, and went to sleep. Problem is, I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning because it was so crammed in that car. Did you ever sleep in the back seat of a car? I had my knees and my chin, and I was sweating like all get out. I know what you're thinking right now. This guy ain't even funny. Well, I ain't. I'm not even trying to be. All I'm trying to do is earn a living. I used to be a juggler many, many years ago. And that's why I got these 3 microphones, because I'm juggling them around so much. You're looking at me juggling the microphones, and hopefully you ain't paying any attention to me trying to tell these jokes, because I ain't told a joke yet. Don't you go home and tell anybody, you see, because I'm just like you. I got to make a living, too. I got to make a living. I got a wife and 4 kids at home. That's right, 4 kids. And they're all hungry. And they all want things. And let me tell you, the kind of money I make on this job, it ain't much. All right? If anybody benefits from this job, it's me. So, there's just one thing I want to tell you before I leave. I didn't solve the problem with the sound. I didn't hear anybody out in the audience laugh. And it's time for me to say, what'd it be like, mine? I'm Jam Daddy. See you next time. Maybe I only have 1 mic.